Right behind me is an active volcano. You can see the crater. You can feel a bit of the heat coming off. East Java. It's a name you've probably never heard before, but I can guarantee you you're about to start hearing it everywhere. Whether you're a broke backpacker with nothing in your wallet, an annoying travel influencer, or you're simply way too woke for Bali, then this is the perfect place for you. Unlike Bali, this is not 5-star travel. There is no luxury to be had here. This is going to be raw and real travel. Long days in the back of a van, early mornings when you'd rather be in bed, and physical exertion beyond you can believe. You're going to have moments on this trip where you're sweating through your entire change of clothing and you're thinking to yourself, that Bali villa sounds really nice right now, but this is what separates you from the other travelers. You put up with all this discomfort for a few key moments that you will never forget, and that's what we're gonna focus on today. So let's get started with how you're going to be starting your trip at the Surabaya airport. Fresh morning and it's a fresh start. We've arrived here in Surabaya, Indonesia. We've just got ourselves a transport car and I'm actually gonna be traveling with someone. He's said to be down to film.
What up? I'm Fast Mox. We're here.
You're gonna be spending a lot of time on the road on this trip, and so one important thing is to hire yourself a driver. I highly recommend you get somebody that has an SUV, verbally confirm that with them, and typically prices can range anywhere from $50 per day as far as, well, basically what I paid, $125 a day. I decided to pay premium money so that I could get somebody that was skilled, knowledgeable, and had the right connections. Unfortunately, that person had none of the above. And so for that reason, I'm not going to be recommending them here in this guide. One thing you can definitely expect when you come here on a road trip through Java is a lot of traffic, like some of the most in the world. Even though this is not the order that Zach and I traveled East Java in, I've optimized the route to make sure that you spend as little time on the road. Our first destination is going to be going down south, all the way from Surabaya to the Malang Rainbow Village. Apparently we're here. We just pulled over. There's like 45 minutes until sunset, even a little sooner. Whew, we gotta go. Hello. Guys, I gotta say, I'm surprised. I pictured this being like a really tiny town, but this is like in the center of a big city. But they've taken this whole area and they've made it beautiful. This is crazy. From there, we're gonna get into our van and do about a 2.5-hour journey to Mount Bromo, one of the highlights of this trip. Now, Bromo is the place that you need to be for sunrise, so it's important to get there in the evening. Yeah, welcome to Bromo.
Ah, Bromo.
These are the happy faces from Canada. You meet a lot of nice people here in Bromo, and they happen to sell things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Boys are living large tonight. 233. We got the best accommodation in town, right outside of Bromo. Thank you, sir.
Wasn't that a great nap? Time to start our day. Instant lattes, instant fun. Cheers to the good life. It's time to get this bread. The next morning, I was extremely excited because we had organized for ourselves to have 2 dirt bikes for about $30 each. Now, the problem was... Bike number 2 won't start, and sunrise isn't gonna wait for us. So we're trying to figure out a replacement right now, but it's like 2 in the morning and no one's answering their phones. So that left me scrambling to basically borrow my guide's bike, which was a bald tire street bike, basically a crotch rocket, and I had to take it off-roading through sand dunes. It was a bit of a nightmare, but ultimately we did prevail and we made it to the top. Now I will say, if you're not comfortable riding a dirt bike, this is not the place to do it. This is definitely some pretty advanced driving conditions. So what you you have to do to get up top is to go into town and find one of the countless drivers that have one of these 4x4 vehicles, and they will gladly take you up at a very similar price to what we paid to rent one of the dirt bikes.
Hey. Holy, that was the most wild thing I think I've done in a while.
It's a lot more developed up here. It's a lot busier than I expected. And coming up here was like serious Mad Max vibes, 4x4 cars ripping past each other. It was like survival of the fittest. You saw cars breaking down on the side. You saw people who were like not making it up with their bikes, but we made it.
We were lucky enough to get Bromo's best shooting conditions, and it was a morning that I will never forget.
We have shared something very special here today.
Dude,
that was crazy.
That was literally, oh dude.
10 out of 10 conditions. We are so lucky. You always want to get the underhanging clouds right below Bromo. We had that. We had a cloud above it, but not blocking it. We had a beautiful sunrise with like no obstruction from clouds. Today was a 11 out of 10. It definitely draws a crowd, but it's a big area. You can find little pockets where you can kind of sneak away from people, have your own privacy, have your own little photo shoot, and just most of all enjoy what's right in front of you here. Kind of similar to Angkor Wat, this is a sunrise destination, and so after about an hour of the sun rising, pretty much everyone disperses in what was like a busy mogul here full of people. It's just a couple of photography stragglers.
Now, one of the highlights of Bromo is actually at the base of it. So when you get back down the mountain, you have this incredible desert-like sand flat. And if you're comfortable on your bike, it's so much fun to rip around. And the final thing to do here in Bromo is definitely going to be the crater hike.
No, we are not walking into Bethlehem. We are on our way to the crater, which apparently is a huge tourist gathering. Bit of a bad vibe about it so far, but we'll see. Never really like to see a ton of horses all roped up. A lot of the time it's just not a good thing. Today's video is about overcoming mountains, craters, and challenges. Anything is possible.
Hello.
So, was it worth the hike?
I mean, the hike was only about 25 minutes, and I think this is probably the coolest thing I've seen in my life. So I say that about everything, but this is pretty cool.
You can feel a bit of the heat coming off. You can smell the sulfur, and this morning when we were on the other side, those cliffs on that edge there, you could actually see the smoke rising, which is incredible. It stopped rising now, which is probably a good thing, otherwise we might get smoked out. You gotta get past a big crowd, but it's worth it just to see this.
When you come to Asia, you will get a lot of people wanting to take photos of you.
We're basically celebrities.
We're basically celebrities.
Come on in.
Come on in, right in the middle. Woo-hoo! Woo!
All of that shooting, and it's only 10 a.m.
And from there, it's time to get back on the road because we want to fit in one more thing today, and that is the, let me get the name. Madakaripura Waterfall.
We are exhausted right now. We slept, what, 2-3 hours last night?
Not very long.
And we shot so much today. In the meantime, the boys
Planet Earth.
We're crushing Planet Earth.
We've got some rhinos and elephants here.
Hello, hello. Let's do it. But you will get assaulted by people trying to sell you stuff. They make you pay for the toilet. They make you pay for everything they can. I really hate the feeling of being here so far, but if the waterfall makes it worth it, then sometimes you gotta make sacrifices.
No, you guys rock, paper, scissors.
I don't know.
You're definitely gonna want to get one of these because the entire waterfall is like inside this amphitheater. It's so beautiful, but the thing is you do get really wet. So far this waterfall is one of a kind. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's very extensive. There's probably about like 20 of these different waterfalls running, and they seem to come out of nowhere. One downside to the place, and unfortunately it's a very big downside, is the way they harass you to sell you things like this. 10,000!
Yeah, 10,000.
10,000! Woo! What a deal!
If you're willing to put up with that, enjoy this beautiful waterfall and some crowds. It's mainly local people.
From there, we're gonna be heading back to our driver to get us over to our next set of waterfalls, and we need to be there for the crack of sunrise. So we've got about a 4.5-hour journey, and I highly recommend finding yourself a guest house that's as close to the waterfall as possible. That way we can make our sunrise wake up as painless as possible. I would say your average comfortable guest house with AC will go anywhere from $10 to $25 US. We paid a bit on the upper end because, well, I believe our guide took us to his favorite spots. Again, that's why he's not in the guide. Well, lucky for you, today's probably going to be the most physically demanding day aside from tomorrow. Let's get started because we have 2 waterfalls to climb to and they're both exhausting.
Good morning, my dudes. Finally got a good night's sleep, and we started our morning around 6 a.m. It's about a 1-hour drive to get to the next waterfall, and if you've seen my old videos, you would have seen that I've actually been here before. It's called Tupac Sewu, which means 1,000 falls, and it is the most beautiful waterfall I've ever seen. I'm excited to share that with you, Zach. Share the beautiful views. Damn, there's a rainbow this morning, guys.
Now you have 2 options. You can either view Tupac Sewu from the top viewing platform, but if you want to really experience it, you have to climb all the way down. It's going to take you about 45 minutes each way, and that's even being maybe a little bit conservative.
And so it begins. My first step on the trail, and I almost ate it. So this is like one of the craziest paths you'll ever take. Very steep hill, very steep steps carved into the side of mud. You gotta go down about 45 minutes. Some pretty treacherous steps. So if you come here, this is what you're looking at. Luckily it's been recently renovated. They didn't used to have these metal bars. Everything's looking really nice. Structural integrity, 1,000. So entrance into the waterfall is gonna cost you about 30,000. 20,000 at the top, and then they charge you another 10 at the bottom. If you want to see all of the Tupac Sewu has to offer, you'll probably want at least 5 to 6 hours here. We're gonna get out of here in like 2.5 hours. There's actually another set of waterfalls down there that look like this. If you would rather do just one waterfall for the day, then I recommend going over and checking out those falls as well. But if you're planning to make your way to our second waterfall, then you're gonna have to move on, hike back up that incredibly sketchy staircase, and make your way over to the next waterfall, which is only about 15-20 minutes away, and that is Kapas Biru.
Oh, this is not my favorite thing.
So far it's looking like a 45-minute to an hour hike again, a lot of up and down, but it's so beautiful. Rice terrace here, waterfall in the distance, waterfall over there, waterfall behind us. This is Kapas Biru. It is incredibly beautiful, and there's a few waterfalls in this region actually. I'd be curious to check more out, but again, we're on a really tight time crunch. I would definitely say you could at least spend a good 3 to 4 hours here. My thoughts are this: it's a bit of a quieter waterfall than Tupac Sewu. In total, we paid 7,000 to get in, super cheap. The only people here are locals. That's kind of the theme here in East Java. Maybe after this video it may change a little bit, but that's for your benefit. I hope that you guys get to explore and see the things that very few people have seen. Back to back, this is like one of the most cardio intensive workouts. These 2 waterfalls are giving me my Bali body.
On Zach and I's trip, this is basically where we headed back to Surabaya and called it the end of our East Java trip. But because I want to make this a guide to all of East Java, I want to also include 2 other spots that I've visited on my previous trip that are absolutely mind-blowing. Now, the first spot I need to mention is a surfer's paradise for those of you who are looking to learn. Gnarly, let's do this. On the southeast of East Java, there is a tiny area by the name of Red Island, and the waves are not massive, which makes them fantastic for learning. I had spent a couple days there at a surf resort with Mojo Surf, and it was a really great experience. Now, the thing that is a must for anybody that's coming to East Java and still has enough energy in the reserve tanks, head over another 6.5 to 8 hours to Mount Ijen. This is one of the highlights of my entire travel career. Le Piste de Résistance de East Java. It is the #1 thing to see here. As if getting up for sunrise wasn't hard enough, well, now you're actually going to be getting up like a good 1.5 to 2 hours before sunrise, because you need to start hiking up this volcano to make sure that you're at the top of it by the time the sun starts to rise. That way you can view the sunrise from inside of the volcano. You actually have this beautiful blue flame that can only be seen when there's no natural daylight. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. You're gonna have to deal with your exhaustion and just do it. Just do it. Now, if you're as lucky as I was, then you'll get one of the most glorious sunrises you've ever seen. From there, you'll see this incredible emerald lake revealed right in front of your eyes. You'll see a massive plume of yellow smoke just coming out of the side of the volcano. And this is actually the reality to where so many people work. It is some of the most grueling work conditions you'll ever see. The sulfur miners here work through the most difficult conditions you've ever seen. They lift some of the heaviest weights and they carry them up and down that volcano all day for the equivalent of about $7 per journey. Now, once you do that journey once, and imagine putting 200 pounds on your back while doing it, you probably wouldn't want to do that job very long. In fact, you probably couldn't even make that journey once. I know that I couldn't. Kawah Ijen was a life-changing trip. It showed me a landscape I didn't know was possible. It showed me that the human body was capable of so much more than I ever imagined. And most of all, it got me some pretty sweet Instagrams. So that's kind of what travel's about, isn't it? If you don't already follow me on Instagram, then go peep. Hit that follow button and follow your boy, LeBlanc. So now that you've completed some of the major attractions here in East Java, you've got a decision to make. Either go about 6.5 to 8 hours to get back to Surabaya, or you can actually have an even quicker journey to get back to Canggu, Bali, which is about 5.5 to 6 hours depending on traffic. Keeping in mind that also involves a ferry, there could be a bit more of a discrepancy in time. What I'm getting at here is this could be the perfect way to start your trip to Bali, or if you're ending your trip in Bali, you could do this itinerary I just gave you in reverse, and it would be the most efficient route possible. I hope this video saved you so much time in research, because I know when I first arrived in East Java, I was trying to take tiny bits and pieces of information from all over the internet, from friends, from family. No, not from family. I was literally DMing friends to ask their friends how they had done things, so I'm glad I could put this all together for you in one bite-sized package, and I hope it shows you that there's so much more to Indonesia than Bali. There's Lombok, there's Java, there's Flores, there's so many incredible things that Indonesia has to offer, and I want to make guides like this to some of these other regions. So if you enjoyed it, I would love to see it with those thumbs ups. It's one of the best feedback systems I get. Also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button to join Team Get Lost. Hit the bell button so that you're notified when the next video goes up. And I should mention that if you are planning to go to Bali, I actually have an entire travel video guide to it. I've got a free preview of that guide down below to make sure that you make the most of your trip. Guys, I will see you next Saturday. Until then, let's get lost again in the next one.